All right. We did it. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Breakfast Stream. Right on time. 9 p.m. China time. 9 a.m.
Normal
Eastern time. normal time.
Twitch doesn't want to load chat.
Eastern time is normal time. So we are in a new location. We are streaming to you live from Beijing in China. And this is an interesting breakfast stream because this is this is the first time we're streaming to you from Beijing, and it's also the last time we're streaming to you from China. And I'm going to give myself a tiny round of applause. This is my tiny round of applause for continuing to do breakfast stream even while in China. So I'm pretty happy about that. Mm-hmm. But good morning to all of you over on the other side of the world. As is like typical of all of these mobile streams, there is a good hearty chance that at any morning, the stream will just like die. So just prepare yourself mentally for that, because there's a good chance that that'll happen.
I keep yawning and my eyes keep just leaking.
Yeah, even before the stream, like for 20 minutes, Mal and I were just relaxing here, and Mal just can't stop yawning. Tears. Yeah, the bed it's actually a water bed now because there's so many tears. I don't know what caused it. So this is the last stream from China. Mm-hmm. We're heading back to the States on Sunday morning. Mm-hmm. And by Tuesday, if things go according to plan, we'll be back at Chaz and Jeff's, and we'll actually be streaming from there. So we're going to continue to treat this stream like we've treated the other mobile streams that we've done from China, where we're going to interact a little bit with chat. We're going to talk a little bit about what we've been up to, and we are going to continue to not read alerts. So if you do subs or bits or anything, we do appreciate it, and we will read it, but we're not going to read it until we get back to the States. Like right now, Armored Frog resubscribed. See, that was an example of something that I won't be doing, except the one time I just read it. So we'll do that once we're back in the U.S. And Sassy asked, will Chaz and Jeff be up for breakfast stream? I believe so. Like, I don't want to speak on behalf of them, but I'm.
Chaz said he's going into work later.
Yeah, so he can do the stream
because he has to work.
And I mean, again, I'm not going to speak for Jeff, but possibly. So we'll definitely be there. I guess that's not that exciting because we're always there. So let's see. On the last episode
of 2 days ago
of China Ball Z, we were in Xi'an. And what had we just arrived at Xi'an? I think?
Yes, we did.
So a quick recap of what we did. We went to the big thing we did in Xi'an really was we went to the Terracotta Army site, and so if you're not familiar with the Terracotta Army, you can Google like Terracotta Army China discovery and just read all about it. It's actually fascinating. I'll just give a quick recap, and this might encourage you to research this on your own time. Obviously, the vlogs will be out in the near future, but just to give you a quick little tidbit of this, because I really think that this is legit amazing. In 1974, there was a Chinese farmer who was digging a well. And while he was digging a well, he spotted a face. And there's a whole bit about him being very superstitious and worrying that, like, an evil spirit had cursed the village.
Yes, Brandon, you can link.
Yeah. So there's all of that. But long story short, this farmer ended up finding, like, the archaeological find of the world. Like, I don't believe there's ever been anything even close to the scale of this. Turns out he had stumbled upon the beginnings of the remains of thousands of soldiers that were made of clay. So they're like big, like life-size clay figures of warriors. And once he had reported it, like, the government got in on it and was like, what? And started, like, digging down and finding all this stuff. So today, fast forward, it's become this huge museum, and it's actually, they built the museum over the spot that it happened. So, like, the government paid all of the villagers and stuff to, like, move. So they bought the land, and they actually built the museum right exactly where it was. And what's so interesting is that there's even, like, a sign that was like, the well was dug here, like, this is where it was found. And they just kept excavating, and all of the figures were, like, broken. So it's been, like, the world's worst jigsaw puzzle putting everything back together. But there's, like, I think in the big room that most people see the picture of, is that there's,
that's
like,
pit 1.
That's pit 1. There's, like, 6,000.
Yeah, it's like the majority of them, and that's like the lower ranking soldiers.
Yeah.
And, like, some of the horses are there, and I think that's it. It's just mostly kind of soldiers and some horses.
Yeah. So we saw that, and, like, that alone is really cool. But I think the bigger thing is that when we'd walked around, we'd seen a bunch of stuff, and we came back because we were only there for a few hours, and you could probably spend a day there easy. It'd be a little easier if you, like, could read Chinese, but still, yeah. I mean, there's somewhat adequate signage for English speakers. But when we came back, we were doing a little more research on it, and the thing that, like, blew my mind is that I'll move back just a bit. Our guide said that Xi'an is like a super important archaeological place for China, but he said a lot of people that live there take it for granted because on a daily basis they are getting news about a new find. He's like it's seriously like every day or once a week or whatever. Like, there's always, like, oh, we found this, oh, we found this, oh, we found this. And he said the people of the city don't even really care much anymore because it's just such a commonplace thing. And, you know, when I heard him say that, it's not that I didn't believe him, but I was like, you know, that just seems like, you know, there's so much stuff there. When we came back and we were reading more about it, they've done underground radar on this site. And, like, the site is already big. And you know, seeing the thousands of warriors and stuff is already, you know, incredible. But whenever they did the underground radar, it revealed that there is, like, more stuff to dig up for 38 square miles. So, like, they know there's more stuff down there. And that's why they're always digging it up, like, on a weekly basis. And they have been for 20 or 30 years, and they will be for another 50, is because there's that much stuff there from, like, past dynasties. And the terracotta warriors actually had, they were painted. And because they had painted them with this lacquer that whenever it hits oxygen, it, like,
it flakes off.
Yeah, it, like, immediately comes off. So all of these warriors were originally, like, they had color on them. They were actually, like, painted. But whenever they started to dig them up and they became oxidized, all of the color came off. So they actually stopped digging for a long time because they wanted to figure out a way where they could dig them up safely and try to preserve the color from, God, thousands of years ago or hundreds of years ago or whatever.
Over 2,000.
2,000 years ago. So, yeah, that's where we're at, is like they're apparently like in the process of developing new ways to adequately dig up the stuff and preserve it. And one of the really cool things that you had read about was the mausoleum. Mm-hmm. You want to talk about that?
Well, this was all built for an emperor, and I can't remember his name, and even if I could, I'd probably murder the pronunciation.
Sure.
And he's built, his mausoleum is behind the way the army is facing. They're facing away from him. Mm-hmm. So his tomb has supposedly never been opened. And there was a guy who was like, oh, I'm going to loot it, but there's signs that he didn't actually get to the actual tomb itself. Mm-hmm. And so the emperor's tomb has like never been opened, and they're scared to open it because they don't want it to oxidize and anything be destroyed.
Yeah.
So like someday they'll probably figure out how to open that and see what's inside that.
Yeah. So I mean, the thing that was so interesting to me is like they know about like this mausoleum, and literally no one has ever been in it. Mm-hmm. That's incredible, and like it's like this special box that when you open it, you're going to ruin everything in it, and you've got to figure out how to open it so carefully to get the things out of it without ruining it. Mm-hmm. It's like Indiana Jones and the Ark of the Covenant, and they open it up, and they goes like that. Anyway, our FPS briefly shot up to 6 million and then down to 2. So I'm assuming that the truth was somewhere between 6 million and 2. But yeah. Anyway, that's what we did in Xi'an, and you know that. Obviously, I get to share a lot of that information on the vlog. I tried to approach it in a bit more of a talking head documentary style, and I think that was fun. But, you know, obviously there's only so much I can show and talk about, and I just think it's genuinely interesting, and anyone who is curious about it should read more about it. So, yeah. After that...
What did we do that night?
I don't know.
I don't remember either.
I've had a hard time remembering everything we did. So that was yesterday.
Yeah.
That was yesterday.
Yesterday we ate at the hotel for dinner. But
yeah, that wasn't that exciting. So then I guess just today.
Yeah.
Today we woke up at
very early.
We woke up this morning at 5:20 a.m. local time, obviously in China. And then we went to the airport and came to Beijing, basically. And so far in Beijing, we haven't really done...
We went to a whole region. And
we went to... We rode the pedicabs, which is
in Hutong.
Hutong. Mm-hmm. But a lot of it was sightseeing stuff. It wasn't like history type stuff.
Yeah.
So that's basically it. That's basically it. So instead, we'll just answer some questions. Fossix asked, "How's the winter melon for breakfast?" We had been talking about that a little bit on the Discord while we were on the boat. The boat didn't have the greatest food.
No.
And actually, from hearing from folks who have spent time in China, it sounds like they also served some food that's not commonly served, or like not prepared the way it normally is. One of those things is winter melon, which I mean, I don't even know what the thing looks like. I just know how it was served,
to taste,
or how it's supposed to taste, or anything like that. But the way it was served on the boat, it was cut into strips, like you'd cut like carrot sticks, but thicker. And it was boiled. I guess it was boiled.
I don't know.
It was bad. It was bad. It was a gelatinous
tasteless.
I mean, completely flavorless. Like, no flavor. And I tried some because I was like, what the heck is winter melon? And it was bad. It was bad. Fosdick says, winter melon is a thing in China, but not the way it was prepared on the cruise, as far as I know. Yeah, in the Discord, Wembler had said the same thing. Was it Wembler or Lana?
I think it was Wembler.
Okay. I think we've been getting food information from both.
Yeah.
But both are qualified to talk about food, Fosdick's included. So it's like one of those things like, it's, not good. It was not good. I'm sure that there's ways to... I mean, as a general rule, sorry to any culture anywhere, if I get a food that has no flavor, like literally tastes like nothing, I'm like, I feel like something was done incorrect. Yeah. I'm pretty sure food is supposed to taste like something.
Yeah.
No matter where you go in the world, it may not be your favorite flavor, but I'm pretty sure it should taste like something. Probably. Anyway. What other questions? And also the chat might be a little behind because the internet is a little sluggish. I know I'd seen...
What's your favorite Chinese food thus far after experiencing China for 2 weeks?
Wow. Yeah, God.
Barbecue pork.
It's such a cop-out. I feel like it's such a cop-out answer.
I know, but it's so
dumplings.
good.
Dumplings are very good, and we have had...
A few different ones.
I was going to say we've had both very good and very bad dumplings. The bad ones were on the ship.
Yeah.
The ship. I don't know what they did.
And we had soup ones for dinner tonight.
Yeah. Actually, this evening, so we're in Beijing, and our tour guide, since we're staying in so many cities across the country, our tour guide has kept bringing up like how we're going to be staying
my neck is hurting sitting this way.
How we're going to be staying in like different...
Can you scooch? I need more room. And you're in the middle of this tiny one-person bed.
I didn't feel like I was in the middle.
You were.
Okay. Well, if you say so. What was I talking about? Oh, so the tour guide had really kept talking about how like we were going to be staying in different places, and he kept bringing up Beijing. He was like,
that's his city.
Well, I don't think that was the reason though. Because the first hotel was very nice, like really a very, very nice hotel, and we're on this tour package thing, so everything's just all like one thing, and the first hotel was really nice. And when we were leaving Shanghai, for the first place, he had asked, he's like, how did everyone feel about that hotel? And everyone was like, yeah, it was a great hotel. And he was like, good. He's like, now keep in mind, we're going to be staying in different places. And like, Beijing, for instance, people are always asking me, will the hotel in Beijing be as nice? It depends what you mean by that. And he said that then, and then he said it again when we left Xi'an. And what he was saying was like, I feel like the location is good. He's like, the actual the place itself, maybe not as good. And I personally was like, I think he's trying to set us up for like, this is like not a good place, And that's what I kept thinking. It was like, when we get to Beijing, I'm just preparing myself for like the hotel that we're staying at. It's going to be like bad or something. It's fine. It's fine. Like, is it the level of grandeur of like Shanghai or Xi'an? No. But this is still like, this is a very, very nice hotel. I mean, clearly this guy has never stayed in like a I don't know, what's one of the really cheap, like a Super 8, or a Red Roof Inn or Travel Lodge. Oh, so much of my childhood was spent in a Travel Lodge. That makes it sound like I lived in a Travel Lodge. But when me and my parents would go on vacation, like we always like tried to stay at the cheapest places. And Travel Lodge was like the name brand that was just above the no name place where like all the prostitutes just stood in the parking lot. So we stayed at the Travel Lodge. I really deviated there. What was I talking about? Anyway, this hotel was great.
He's put this hotel down a little bit.
This hotel was great, but I do understand what he was saying about the location. The location is amazing. We're a block or two away from like
a ton of stuff.
A ton of stuff. There's like crazy shopping and dining and all this stuff. So this evening we went over to, there's this
huge mall.
And I found out later there's another mall.
Yeah.
There's like 2 malls. I bet there's more.
There's more.
What is Beijing doing? Anyway, there's this gigantic mall, like 6 or 7 floors or something. And there was a dim sum place over there that had the dumplings, and that's what we had for dinner with Mark and Rhonda. And it was a type that we haven't had before, which, you know, some of our viewers that are more familiar with Chinese cuisine may be familiar with. But it's like, it has like soup in it, and it's still bao, but it was zhao long bao.
Yes.
I think I'm saying that correct. And it's got, and I don't know what to call it other than it got the soup juice. So it got the soup juice dump. And it's good. Dump, actually, I guess is, dump's the part that's not appetizing. It's dumpling. I can't really shorten that part, but, yeah. Oh, yeah, Fosdick says, it's Xiao Long Bao. Yeah.
Lana named it. Is that right? Was that the name of it?
Did you go to Din Tai Fung? Yes, that is exactly, yes, that's where we went. It was good. In fact, Mallory spotted chocolate dumplings on the menu, and therefore we had to try them, and those were really good too. It was a really good experience because I've never had that. So yeah, you mean broth? No, I mean soup juice. What kind of strange word is broth? Soup dumps.
Yum.
I really like soup dumps. But yeah, that's what we had this evening, and it was very good. And I still like just I know like Mark and Rhonda don't seem to be too hip on the real thick dough ones.
Yeah.
I like that.
I do too. They're so soft.
Put more bread into my body.
Me too.
Where can I get some more bread? But yeah, those were really good. I really enjoyed those. And if we can get more dumplings, I'm probably gonna try. But yeah, this entire area, I understand now why he said the location was good, because it is. It is. There are Din Tai Fungs in the U.S. too. Oh, well, I mean, we don't live
in a place that has
we don't live anywhere near a city. I mean, maybe Atlanta would have something like that. But next time we're in a big city, we could maybe try and find something of it, because they were very, very good. And Lord knows it would be easier to figure out the money if it was in USD. Oh. That actually, I've had one of the interesting things about being here is that, you know, we've spent time in Japan, and Japan's real easy because it's not exactly 1-to-1, but generally 1 yen is a penny-ish, and you can just kind of move the decimal marker whenever you're in Japan, and your brain figures it out.
Yeah.
But in China, it's roughly like 7. So like $1 is equal to 7 yuan, and that's been problematic because I keep getting sticker shock every time I go into a store. I don't know if you've experienced this, but the first time it happened was whenever I went into Toys R Us, and they had Lego sets, and it was like 1,400, and I was like, Jesus, what? And then my brain had to be like, you have to divide by 7, and I'm like, God, I can barely divide by 2. Don't ask me to divide by 7. But that's happened a few times. And Lego seemed to be really big here. Yeah. But I guess that's like a global, worldwide thing. But yeah, it's been good. I also saw that Thomas had asked a question about packing. He'd asked if we had packed a ton of stuff.
We're actually very limited in like the weight limits for the airline we're on. And like our international flight had a higher weight limit, and then we had 4 4 domestic flights.
Yeah.
And that's even less. So we had to consider that when packing.
Yeah, so for those who aren't familiar with the U.S., when you're flying domestically in the U.S., the weight limit is 50 pounds. And
for checked luggage.
For checked luggage, but in China it's 44 pounds or 20 kilos. So we had to, we had to just pack for our domestic flights in China, so we could not have anything higher than 44 pounds.
And thankfully the tour has taken care of moving our luggage. We have not had to ferry our luggage from hotel to airport.
But we actually, I think all things considered, we packed pretty light.
Yeah, we did.
Mal and I each had one bag, and our bags were 36 pounds each. So well under the 44 slash 20 kilos that they require. So we did good. We just got a text from a dad that says, "I'm watching you. Can you say hi, Dad?" Yes. Hi, Dad. Chat, make sure you say hello to my father, who is watching at home and has been doing an amazing job taking care of the boys. We get I
love seeing pictures.
We get picture updates every single day of how Sagan and Kepler are doing, and they are having a good time. They both really love my dad. It's been nice to see them just relaxing on his lap and stuff. But yeah, the weight limit's 44 pounds. We've stayed well below that. There's also restrictions for the carry-ons.
Yeah.
Which I didn't bring a carry-on. I just have my camera bag, which I guess counts as a carry-on, but I don't have anything in it other than camera equipment. And Mao has
a backpack in my purse.
Yeah. But I feel like we packed pretty light.
We did.
There's some other people on the trip that have several carry-ons, like several bags, big bags, and I'm like, that's a lot of bags. It's a lot of bags. I'm not. I assume they're allowed to have the bags, or they're paying a lot of extra money, or something. But that's their prerogative. And then there's another couple who is older. I think they're in their like early 70s, and they packed super light.
Yeah.
And I'm impressed. They don't have checked bags. They have like the carry-on sized rollers for this entire trip. And I'm blown away. I don't know how. I really don't. Like,
especially with how hot it had been in the beginning of the trip.
That's the big part.
Before we got to Xi'an, it was so hot. Like I would have to change clothes. Like, there was a couple days I wore 2 outfits because I had just gotten so gross and sweaty, and then I showered and had to change.
Yeah.
And it was so bad.
Yeah, like I realized it today when we were at the airport arriving in Beijing. I was like, wait, that's their checked bag. Oh my God. Incredible. You could probably, like, I was trying to think for me, like, how would I get away with doing that? And the only way I could come up with is, like, I'd have to pack, like, undershirts. And then I would only have, like, a few, like, long sleeve overshirts. And I would just keep changing the undershirts so the overshirt wouldn't get smelly.
Yeah.
But the thing is, with how it's been in China, like in Shanghai, it wouldn't have mattered.
Yeah.
I was, within 15 minutes, I was drenched in sweat.
And I'm sure we could have done laundry, but, like, we weren't sure about where we were staying, if we'd be able to, or if there'd be enough time to dry stuff.
Yeah.
Or how much it would be, or whatever.
Well, yeah. There's a lot of uncertainties when you're traveling abroad, especially to something as foreign as China. Because, like, for one, like, you're allergic to certain detergents.
Yes.
And that's not good, because if we can't get the specific brands that we need to get, which it's likely we won't be able to because we're in another country, then obviously that's super bad, because if we just buy something, then Mal's going to like wind up with a rash. And me too, actually, because there's been times I've been allergic to certain detergents. So it's like, it's kind of one of those things, like, we could have chanced it, but it was safer to just try and pack enough to get through the trip. So that's what we did. And Lana says, and dryers are not a thing in China. Yeah, that's the other thing. So, yeah, we just did our best, but it worked out all right.
Yeah.
Anyway, is there any other questions? Also, thank you for everyone who ran the ticker for us. I sincerely appreciate that. Again, being on mobile is like not ideal, but actually, is this the most stable?
Yeah, it has been.
As I'm saying that, people are saying the audio shifted, and I'm like, well,
people are wondering about how your eyes are doing.
Oh yeah, my vision was on Tuesday. My vision was bad. That was when it started, right? So the next day, my vision was still bad, but I could tell that it had changed. It had like before, it had to be a certain distance, and I couldn't get closer. The next day, by the time I went to bed, by the time I went to bed last night, it was like practically back, and then this morning it was back. So it took 2 days, I think two full days or so, and my vision came back. That being said, the whole experience was not ideal, and I'm going to avoid using those patches in the future, because like
same,
that ain't worth it. And the other thing that happened while I was doing that is that my eyes felt weird. Like the way Rhonda had asked about it, and the way I described it is my eyes felt like swelled. It felt kind of like my eyes were going to explode. And generally that's you don't want your eyes to explode.
No.
Just like as a general rule. Anyway, F's and no F's. There we go. Partial F. Looks like this the stream took a bit of a
F turn.
And semi F. We went offline for a second. Well, in case you missed it, all I said was that my eyes felt swollen, and that sucked. And I'm not going to wear the patches ever again. If I have to get on the boat, I'm just going to be seasick, because like
same.
I'm not dealing with that. There was a really creepy feeling, and I didn't like it. And also, and I don't know if we mentioned this for Mel.
No, we didn't.
But one of this, and this is so stupid. This is so stupid. One of the side effects.
It's withdrawal.
Yeah, one of the side effects of using the patch is you go through withdrawal, and one of the side effects of that withdrawal is motion sickness.
Yeah.
What the? So like after you've used the patch for a certain amount of time, and then you take it off because you don't need it anymore, your body goes through withdrawals, and as a result, you get motion sickness, which was the thing you used the patch for in the front. No, I'm sitting back here. What? Oh, because you can't sit back.
My torso's shorter.
Oh, that's what you mean. Okay, that. But then I have to slouch. It hurts.
Slouch. We're not going to be here much longer anyway.
Okay, all right. In and out, F. Oh, now it's back. Okay, so the FPS was like 32 million. 32 million. All right. Well, I'm going to go ahead and end it, because if I end it, it looks like it'll be one complete stream, which would be wonderful. Thank you all for joining us. Sincerely appreciate it. And we did it. We streamed all through China.
Yeah.
Now watch Chaz and Jeff's internet go out on Tuesday. I think that would be perfect timing. Again, I'm trying to remember to post some things on on
Instagram
and Twitter. The stream is lagging. I bet it's because I leaned forward. I bet this is where I had good reception.
Oh my god.
This is where I had good reception. Because the stream's lagging. This is the problem with Wi-Fi. You just have to like not touch it. You just have to keep 9 a.m. Eastern. I got it. All right, you ready?
Yes.
I'm gonna close it. The FPS is just all. See, now it's green again. Now it's healthy. This is streaming mobile is very difficult. I understand that it's a necessary evil, but it's very difficult. All right, good night, folks. Where's the button?